Guys, congratulations on the film. Now, we see Westinghouse on our appliances, and we're familiar with the names Tesla and Edison, but what I didn't know was how their lives were connected. What was each of you surprised to learn about your characters?
I mean, I didn't know much about Westinghouse at all because he's such a enigmatic figure, even though his name's everywhere. He seemed like a very benevolent, kind, caring industrialist, which is those are not two things you imagine in the same sentence very often.
There wasn't very much written about Mary, so I suppose the things that surprised me were things that I learnt about these two men, and especially the kind of war between them. The revelation around the electric chair I found really shocking.
Pretty much all of it, because I shamefully didn't know that much about Edison. I knew his name in sort of contact with the electric light, with the incandescent bulb, but I didn't know about the phonograph. But where this story goes and how desperate he becomes in that moment of his life, for reasons that are hopefully humanized in our version, it did shock me how dirty the campaign got, the lengths he was to go to try and discredit AC as being lethal. Eventually through, like Tuppen says, building and designing an electric chair to promote that fear. It's really horrible.
What were you surprised to find out when you read the screenplay, and what made you want to direct this movie?
It wasn't because I wanted to make a movie about electricity. That I can assure you. I like to have an opportunity to explore ideas that I was interested in too, and how far does one go to be remembered? And you add to that ideas like the consequences of technology. You have the light bulb can lead to the electric chair, just like social media, which is meant to connect us, can lead to extreme loneliness. There was just some interesting ideas that I wanted to explore, and then on top of that is the chance as a filmmaker to make a period movie that was about the future, not about the past.
You said that Michael is quite different from Benedict. One is AC and one is DC
Yes.
in their process and approach.
Yeah.
Can you explain the differences in their approach?
Well, yeah, I mean, to a point. I think there's the actor-director relationship is sacred in a lot of ways. So, and those are my own secrets. But every actor has their own process, and you have to respect that, and create an environment where they're safe and they feel they can be creative.
Westinghouse and Edison share this great dynamic on the screen, but they're not in many scenes together. One scene that I found quite interesting was the scene where they did meet at the end and they talk about fences. And Westinghouse says something along the lines of, why have a fence when you can share? So what does this tell us about Westinghouse and Edison?
Well, I think the irony of the whole situation is Westinghouse was never looking to get in a fight with anybody. For him, it's just about ideas. What's the best idea? What's the most helpful idea? And how can I make it a reality? I think he really admired Edison and wanted to have a relationship with him. So he was kind of astonished that wasn't in the cards.
Edison should have accepted Westinghouse's invitation at the beginning of the film, and maybe we'd be in a better place right now. Edison thought of him as just another financier, another titan of industry, and he had enough of those. Where it was a genuine invitation from one great mind to another to share ideas. I doubt that Edison regrets it. If he does, he'd never admit it. So he just moves ahead to the next thing and never really allows himself to fail.
There's a wonderful moment where Westinghouse brings Edison to a personal human connection to what they both do, but in the instance it's talking about how did it feel, that first moment of creating the incandescent light and the long-lasting light when they just kept watching it. You get a very humanized version of a man who then immediately then in the conversation shuts down again. It says, well, I'm off, I'm going to do something else now. Signing a signature for a kid, he's still paying attention to fame. The whole room drains when he leaves it, following him into the next exhibition space, and he's boasting about the next huge thing he's going to do. He just moves on. And it's a shame, because this man is just offering friendship and collaboration. And for me, the power of the story is what could have happened if they'd collaborated. It could have been an incredible ongoing partnership.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Great movie. I think everyone needs to see it.
Great, thank you.